Hello everyone, and welcome to a new Heroes of Might and Magic Free Horn of the Abyss tier list, where in this one I will be going over the Battle Mages. Battle Mages is the mage counterpart of the Stronghold faction. They start off with a book, but okay. So first of all, I will explain the Battle Mages and what makes them good and what makes them bad, okay? So as a class, they end up having like really bad stats, as in their starting stats are pretty abysmal. They don't really have any knowledge to cast things. They are not really mighty enough to be considered a might class. They don't have any power to sustain the things that they do cast. They're kind of like all over the place. They specialize in nothing, and that's kind of bad. Usually you want to have a hero that specializes in at least something. They also don't really go for any specific schools of magic. They're as likely to get, they're equally likely to get any school of magic in the game. So yeah, they specialize in nothing. They're kind of all over the place. They can be useful, but their usefulness has to be carried outside of the hero class. So something like specialty, or maybe they're starting units, something. They have to have something. And battle mages bring quite a bit of that something to the table. Here we have the first hero, Dessa. And Dessa is a hero that starts off with wisdom and logistics. And he is a logistics specialist. Wow. Back when in Shadow of Death days, when wisdom was more important in order to get spells, and also when logistics was actually not nerfed, this guy was one of the best heroes in the game. Solid S tier. In Horn of the Abyss, I don't really feel like that's quite the case anymore. A hero has to do a little bit more than be able to move a little bit in order to be considered good. In many games, especially for the early portions of the game, wisdom is going to be a dead skill, okay? So you're rolling only on logistics, and then you're not very likely to roll a good school of magic either on him. So yeah. Also, his stats are nothing special, so he can't really cast anything. He ends up being, like, really slow to get going. He needs a lot of investment to actually be strong. But if you give him that investment, he actually can be really good. I will put him at A tier in the current Horn of the Abyss version of the game. Next up is we have The Good. She is sorcery specialist, and she starts off with wisdom and sorcery. See, sorcery, specialties that give like, that are specializing in certain skill are usually very strong. But sorcery, it just kind of falls flat on its face. It's just not good enough. Also, you put it on a hero that doesn't really get to cast that much because they have no knowledge. If they do cast, they have no power. They're not really mighty either. Kind of all over the place. And sorcery specialty certainly does not make up for that. But it's not useless. If you get it from a prison, like level 20, you're actually kind of happy. Or you're level 30, So, she's not a lost cause entirely, but she's pretty bad, in my opinion. Next up is we have Gonzola, the war goddess herself, okay? Her notable features are the fact that she starts with offense, really good skill, and then she specializes in it. Damn! And also, she ends up having slow immediately in her spellbook. So if she's out in the field and she happens to roll earth magic, she can immediately cast expert slow. And that is absolutely nuts. It is so strong, having slow immediately in your book. It gives you like a lot of potential, You don't have to go back to your mage guild in order to actually grab it. You immediately have a spell book, you immediately have a spell to cast. That's pretty good. And of course, she's a battle mage, so her spell casting potential is not really that great, but she actually usually makes for a really good hero, both not in the entirety of the early game, but like mid game. She really has a big spike. And that big spike cannot be overrated. And of course, as offense specialist, her late game is also pretty damn great. She is the best main after Kraghav for the Fortress faction, despite being a battle mage. That's how good she is. She is S tier as an individual hero. Next up is we have the Oris. Now then, you have a hero with wisdom. She has the eagle eye. She specializes in the Eagle Eye, but Eagle Eye actually doesn't do anything. It's a pretty sad sight to see. This hero is a dead hero. Like, absolutely dead. I did actually have some good Orises. You know, I was scouting around with Oris, I gave her to the army, she took some fights, and she actually just went, like, straight up logs off and serve. But then again, that's probably, like, very, very rare. And even then, having dead skills is probably... I mean, you don't want to invest into her. And she's not that likely to be good even if you do. She is a solid D-tier hero. Very well fit into that category. Next up is we have the Sorug. Sorug is a hero that starts with interference. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And also, she has gem specialty, meaning that when you have her in your kingdom, you're actually pretty happy. You're generating gems. Not bad. No. Okay. Now, but you see, there's a very big mismatch in her character. She doesn't really make for that amazing of a side hero, but she doesn't like make an amazing main either. So the fact that she has interference means that she's actually could be built for late game and be used even as a main, because interference is a really important main hero skill. If you're starting off with a hero that actually has that, then you're probably looking to have her as the endgame main. But then again, do you want like that gem specialist battle mage as a main? Not really. And is that good skill good outside of that anywhere else? Also, not really. So basically, you're getting like filthy hero that actually doesn't really do much and doesn't have a purpose, but it gives you some gems, so it's not detail. Thanks. There we go. Next up is we have the Tarek. What a special hero. What an absolutely special hero. I love this guy. He has such a cool theme to him. This guy starts off with wisdom, tactics, and he has the haste specialty. He makes low tier units go zoom zoom. And he's one of the best heroes to deal with range blocks in the early game. Almost no one is good as him. A package of haste as a stun spell, and also the haste is turbo, and also he gets tactics. The only downside is that haste lasts for one turn because he starts off with one power because he's a filthy battle mage. But nonetheless, you're actually pretty happy to see this guy in the tavern. He's really good at doing like some early black towers for you, cutting off rangers. You don't usually main him, but you can do that too. You're not going to be that disappointed in using him. He's actually pretty okay. I kind of like him. Next up is we have Vey, the Ogre specialist with leadership. Leadership is a pretty good skill, especially for a side hero. Whenever you're using her out on a map, you give the army to her, she can take some fights, and it doesn't feel that bad. And if you have some ogres, having them be more speedy is also like kind of good, but then again, she's a battle mage, she's not really meant to be used as a main, she's not that specifically good as a side hero, she's just kind of okay. If she's in your roster, you're like, damn, at least it ain't Oris. That's exactly the emotion that you're feeling. And next up is the Zubin. Zubin has he's the precision specialist with artillery. Now that's mismatched. That's kind of all over the place. First of all, you have I mean, it's not really that good. A battle mage doesn't really benefit that much off of artillery, and then he also is an artillery specialist that does not start with a ballista, so that's kind of also meh at best. He ends up being able to cast precision for a whole whopping one turn. Thank you very much. Unless you were to invest into him, which you really don't want to do anyway. Sorry for that. So yeah, this guy is pretty bad. He has almost no redeeming qualities. I would say he's slightly better than Oris, but slightly. Nothing more. So yeah, as you can see, battle mages are a really varied class. When we went over barbarians, almost all of them were pretty much top tier, no matter what. Battle mages need quite a bit of things outside of the hero class to get them to be good. But if they are good, they have the potential to be really, really good. So that's why Dessa and Gonzola stand on top. Then you have like Tarek, who's actually pretty okay, pretty good, and then the rest of the squad that don't really have anything special end up being pretty bad because the hero class doesn't really carry them as much as the other ones do. So yeah, this was my tier list of the battle mages. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do subscribe, and please do check out my Twitch. I stream pretty much every day. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Unless you watch my Twitch today. Please do.